a few minutes, we're gonna start planning for London. And we have this book that we bought a while back, a long time ago. Half price books is where we bought it. Yeah, we got it pretty cheap. But we bought it a couple years ago knowing that we were going to be going to London at some point. And then Sarah sent me this in the mail. This is a guide to London Bridge. So she sent me that. We'll look at that. But then Kevin printed out this London itinerary for 3 days. And then he also printed out the London Pass.
Like a tour guide.
A tour guide. So anyway, we are going to be looking at that in just a few minutes. So we're going to try to pick things that we definitely want to go see and all that. So I will show you that in just a few minutes. So we've got everything laid out. We have, I showed you the books and all that. And so we're looking at, gonna try to go like day 1, day 2, day 3. And do we know exactly how many days we're even gonna stay yet?
Not yet. We're just gonna need to figure out kind of what we want to do first. And
how much it's gonna cost.
Right.
And then see how much we have and see if we have enough to, how long we can stay basically.
Yeah. And then we plan on doing a tour of Scotland and
we're going to take a train. Yes, we're going to take a train.
And to Edinburgh and then travel from there to other places in Scotland. So that is either a 5 or 7 day trip. So that takes a whole week. So we need to figure out what we can do in that first week and then make sure we can hit everything in London and then do other things.
Right, because the whole reason we're going is mainly for London.
See London, but while we're there, we might as well go ahead and see places in Scotland too. Because how often are we ever?
And I might fall in love with Scotland more than London. So who knows?
So what we're doing is we're interested. We're going to probably do the London Pass, which lets you get into places for free. It's basically like you prepay your admission.
Right.
We're going to compare the prices individually of the things we want to do, and add them all up and then see if the London Pass for the same amount of things is cheaper or more expensive. You know, if it's about the same, I don't know, you get to bypass some lines and stuff, so it may be worth it. If it's a lot cheaper, we'll definitely do the London Pass. If it's really more expensive, then there's no reason to do it. We'll just do individual
But isn't the London Pass, doesn't that include the bus?
No, transportation's not included. You can buy it with the Oyster card where you can get on the tube, but it doesn't include bus transportation. Well, it includes some bus transportation. But we're thinking about doing the hop-on, hop-off buses where you can just get on a bus and go to the next place and get off and then get back on the bus and go.
Right.
We're thinking about doing that. Probably we'll do that. At least the first time. If we go there again, we would maybe not want to do it, but the first time, it's easy way. We don't have to navigate the tubes and subway and
pay for a taxi everywhere. You couldn't afford to do that.
No, but navigating the tube system, I understand it's not too bad. But like right now, are they on strike right now?
They were, yeah.
I'm thinking they were on strike. I know it gets really, really busy and lots of people and stuff. I'd rather just get on a bus. And I've heard some reviews say it's great. The buses are. Some people say the hop-ons are super, super busy and they're packed, kind of like Vegas was. You know, but I don't see the buses as a means of taking pictures of looking at stuff. I see the bus as a means to get from one place to the other.
Right.
So I think if you look at it that way, it's just a way to get from one point you want to see to another point you want to see. I don't think you'd be too disappointed.
Right, yeah. I don't plan on taking any pictures from there. And we are...
Unless we happen to get on top, and then you could take pictures.
Right. But, and we're used to very, very crowded buses anyway from Disney.
Disney and Vegas and all that.
Yeah, any bus that we've ever been on, it's just cram-packed. So that's just the way it is. Yeah.
So we're going through the guidebook right now, just looking at areas and kind of seeing what we want to do in those areas and how long we think it will take to hit those things.
Right.
So we're just kind of guessing.
So like for day 1, we have Tower of London and Tower Bridge.
Yeah, and we may or may not go to the London Bridge. Depends on how much time we have that day. If we have extra time, I don't think either one of us are interested in going into the dungeon and seeing like the haunted house kind of thing. But the history.
I'm interested in the history, but I'm not interested in like a haunted house, people jumping out at me, trying to scare me.
So I don't care about that.
So
either.
even though the history, I would like to hear about the grisly history and all that, I don't want to be scared.
Right. So we'll investigate that more. So anyway, that's where we're at now.
Yeah. Okay, we've written down some more stuff, and I'm wondering if we're not writing down like too much stuff for each day. And I'm wondering if like right now we're talking about going to like the Sherlock Holmes Museum. I'm wondering, number one, is it worth it? Because we're fans of Sherlock Holmes and Elementary and Sherlock and all that. We like that stuff. But I'm wondering, like, will it take forever for us to get there to Baker Street, that area? I'm just wondering how long it's going to take to get there.
See, most things open at 10. Most of the things I've seen open at 10. Well, if we're there at 10 or pretty close to 10, and it closes at 6, you've got 8 hours to do stuff.
So, do you want me to put it on day 4? Or do you want me to put it on day 1?
No, day 1 it's too long of travel. You're going from one side of town to the other.
Okay.
But we're just going straight up.
Okay, we're talking about going to
Kensington Gardens.
Kensington Gardens, and then after Kensington Gardens and a couple of the museums, taking the bus and going up to the Sherlock Holmes Museum.
Yeah.
So we don't know how traffic is or anything like that. We don't know how long it will take to get from Kensington Gardens to Baker Street. So if you think that's totally out of the realm of possibility that we're not going to have enough time to spend and get there, then you can comment below, please. I'm going to write it down.
Because we're not going to go to London Zoo.
We're not going to the aquarium.
We're not going to Madame Tussauds. Literally,
we're not going to Madame Tussauds.
The only thing we'd be doing at Regent's Park is pretty much just looking at Sherlock's and maybe walking through the park.
You're talking about Regent's Park, okay.
So it's just where Sherlock is.
Right.
The Kensington Gardens will probably spend a few hours there.
Right.
Especially walking through the museum. That may be an all-day thing. I don't know.
Well, and Hyde Park is right there too.
I know. So
and it's so beautiful. Hyde Park I followed on Facebook for a while, and they post some gorgeous pictures from there. So
we may just spend all day just doing that, and maybe we'll do Baker Street some other day. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to be so rigid where we follow these plans dead on. I just want to see, how many days do we need to make sure we're in London?
Right.
To get to see as much as we want.
Right, before you schedule other things. Okay, where is Ripper Street? Is that around the Sherlock Holmes Museum? And is there anything on Ripper Street? I mean, you hear about it, that's why
I don't have anything on mine.
I'm curious. Can you Google? Oh, and by the way, Sarah, if you are watching this has come in very handy because it tells a lot of the attractions that are in the area. For example, neither one of us knew that All Hallows by the Tower was a church. So that's an interesting name for a church.
Yeah, Ripper Street's coming up with the TV show.
But there is an actual Ripper Street.
I think so. A map of Jack the Ripper's London. Maybe there's not. Maybe that's just what they called it.
Oh. Fleet Street? What about Fleet Street? I know there's a Fleet Street. So there is no Ripper Street?
No. It's all near, here's where it's at. There's all kinds of different locations. And it's all near Whitechapel. Which makes sense that the Ripper Street, that's where they're at, is Whitechapel.
Okay, look up Fleet Street.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you even see Whitechapel on there?
No.
Whitechapel is, there's an art gallery. 192. Oh, I've been that far back in the book, I don't believe. No, that's near,
But Selfridges is up in that area. I'd like to go in Selfridges.
it's near Church, it's over in here.
Oh, that's far away.
Whitechapel's over in this area. No, it's over in, somewhere over here. Because it was talking about that Christ Church, which we saw over in here. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
The Tower Bridge it's right in that area. Whitechapel is right next to where the Tower Bridge is.
There's Tower Bridge.
Okay, right over here is Whitechapel.
Oh, so it's not on this map.
It's not on that map because the buses don't go there.
Oh, so we won't be able to go there. That was Fleet Street?
I don't know Fleet Street. I don't know where that's at.
I mean, what did you just look up?
Jack the Ripper, Whitechapel,
Oh,
which is the area where Jack the Ripper.
So Ripper Street, we marked that off. We won't be going there.
Yeah. What's Fleet Street? That sounds familiar.
Fleet Street is the barber.
Oh, is that true? Is that a real thing?
Yes.
Oh, here it is.
So Marco.
Fleet Street is near St. Paul's Cathedral.
Oh, so we could. That's day 3.
It's near there. It's not there, but it's near there. Where is St. Paul's?
St. Paul's Cathedral.
Yeah, St. Paul's. It was like over. It's over in this area.
So I can write it down for the same day.
We can see. We didn't have a. Yeah, we were only walking there for 3 hours anyway, and then another one, Covenant Garden area. So it may be somewhere in that area.
They have a lot of walking maps in this book, so it's trying to.
Oh, Fleet Street, 111, 115.
Oh, that's a different page.
Hold on.
Because St. Paul's Cathedral was on page 64. So that's 111.
Covenant Garden. It's near.
Oh, it's near Covent Garden. Okay. But the walking path is telling us that it'll take like 3 hours to walk and stuff like that.
If you don't stop and look at it.
Wonder where the bathrooms are on the way.
Yeah, I guess you just go into different places.
Different stores. Hopefully they're not like a lot of places here. Some of the places here, you go to these touristy places and they're like, you can't use the bathroom unless you buy something. So you all will have to let me know if you've been there, if there's some nice restrooms. That's a fear of mine. I don't know why. That's stupid, but I'm always afraid that I'm not going to be able to get to a bathroom. So.
Say the word.
And at Disney, I don't even drink coffee in the morning when we go to Disney because it's like I know for every cup of coffee I'm gonna have to pee that number of times. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's near.
That's fine. Well, I wrote it down on that day.
And it may not be, it may just be literally a street, and we go, oh, this is a street.
Okay, where is the British?
There is a Fleet Street barbershop, by the way.
There is. Where is the British Museum?
Fleet Street Hair is what it's called.
Maybe you can get a haircut.
One of those old chairs, that'll be everywhere. What'd you say?
The British Museum. And I've got a question about, I've heard about Harrods, that Harrods is really, really, really overpriced, and even people that live in London don't necessarily shop there because it's just outrageous that only if you're like super rich do you shop there. So I've changed my mind about going to Harrods, but I saw Selfridges on the map, and I wondered if Selfridges is not worth going to. Because I do want to go in shops, do want to go shopping, definitely. That's something that both of us love to do. And so you'll have to let me know.
Which ones Ashley said we should go to? Is that the British Museum?
The British Museum. Yeah. Ashley wants us to make sure we go to the British Museum. She said if you don't go to any other ones, go to the British Museum. Of course, Ashley didn't go to the Tate Modern, and we don't have that on our list either. But anyway, let me know about Selfridges. And I don't have that written down like it's near a certain place. If it's near a certain touristy area, that you all might want to let me know. Jubilee Gardens. Oh, that's Coca-Cola. That's the London Eye. Wonder why they call it the Coca-Cola London Eye.
That's that they sponsor it.
Have you found the British Museum?
Yeah.
What is it near? What area?
Seeing if there's something else around there. It is.
I like to see it on the map.
That's right here. It's near Bloomsbury. It's right up from. Like you get that crook.
The Thames?
You get that crook. It's right up in this area.
No, here's Charing Cross.
Bloomsbury. Right there.
Oh, the British Museum, right there.
Yeah. Looks like maybe we can go. Maybe that would be a good day. We could do that once every day. Go to Baker Street and then go over here to the museum. Just hit that and then take the bus
Baker
around.
Street and the British Museum.
Maybe that could be a day.
Okay, so Baker Street, British.
It can be a day 5. There's a bunch of museums in that area.
Well, she said that, yeah,
Oh, look at it.
yeah, that's gonna, yeah. I don't think we ought to plan much more on that day.
Well, if we go to the Baker Street and see that Sherlock Holmes Museum, and then we do the British Museum, and there's other, like I said, there's other museums around that area too.
Okay, the Agatha Christie.
Clearly, this is not a do-in-a-day museum. Many visitors spend 2 days there.
Oh, I'm sure. That's why we're going to be doing good to go through in a day.
Toy Museum. They got all
The
kinds
Agatha Christie Memorial.
I don't know if that'll be in this book or not.
It's at the junction of Cranbourne Street and Great Newport Street.
Yeah, they don't have that.
So now we just have to find out where that's at. What area?
Yeah, they don't have that in there.
No clue. Okay, well that was on my list.
We can look it up. Here, I can look it up. Or you gotta stop David so it's not just us yakking.
This is going to be just us yakking. Anyway, this is what we're sitting here doing. This is just very rough. Us planning for our trip, and I didn't know if you all would find it interesting at all. Probably not. It's probably going to bore you to death. But I'll tell you what I have written down.
What is it, Agatha Christie? What?
It's the memorial.
Memorial.
I'm a big Agatha Christie fan. I have every book she's ever written, so I love her. And I need to spend some time and read them all again. The first one I ever read, it's funny, it's Halloween time, because the first one I ever read was called Halloween Party. Anyway, this is rough, very, very rough. And then you all can tell me if I'm expecting to do way too much in one day. And I mean, this is all going to be moved and tweaked and all that.
Yeah, and some of the stuff, we're just walking through an area. We may not stay.
Yeah, we might not be
look at
interested.
stuff.
You know, our interests are going to differ from other people's interests. So, whereas you all might, you know, want to look at a picture of a lily for an hour, I might just pass it right by. You know, we just don't know. So, I know it's, people are different, but that's okay. You all can tell me if we're like way off point on some of these things. Day 1, we still have the Tower of London, Tower Bridge. Day 2, we have, it's a walk. And it takes you from Westminster Abbey, Big Ben, Westminster Palace. I think Westminster Palace has free services. I would look into that. Buckingham Palace, we saw something where you might be able to go in a couple of rooms. I don't know if that's accurate at all. We were going to look that up. Bless you. We were going to look into the changing of the guards at St. James Place to see if we could see that. What?
They have a Five Guys Covent Garden.
I know. Well, remember Jennifer, Nathan, and Mike went to Five Guys?
I just didn't know that.
Yeah. Because it was so weird. It's like, oh my gosh, Five Guys. On that same day, Piccadilly Circus, Trafalgar Square, and the National Gallery. I think that's way too much on that one day, but you all let me know. Day 3, this is another walk, and it says it's like 3 hours. St. Paul's Cathedral, London Bridge, Covent Garden, and Fleet Street's what we've been talking about. Day 4, Kensington Palace, Natural History, Museum, Science Museum, Victoria and Albert Museum. And then day 5, we put Sherlock Holmes Museum, Baker Street, and the British Museum.
Add your Agatha Christie thing under Fleet Street. It's Covenant Garden.
Yeah.
We literally go to a point right there, and it's like right there.
Oh, you found it? The
Yeah.
Agatha Christie?
The memorial.
Okay, so where do you want to put it on day 3?
Yeah, right under Covenant Garden. I still don't see
Agatha.
Fleet Street on here, but
Well, why did I write that down?
it's supposed to be in that area, but I just don't see it.
Oh,
Maybe it's
Agatha
further
Christie
over or something.
Memorial. And honestly, I mean, we didn't write down the London Eye under any of these days.
Because it's right outside our hotel.
It's-
We can go there the first night we're there. If we get in at...
That needs to be under day 1 then, right?
No, that's a day. That's a full day. I was thinking
So
that's
you're wanting to
still-
go, okay, that's another question I have. If you've been on the London Eye, is it better to go during the day where you can see a lot of stuff, or at night? I'm thinking at night it would be pretty with the lights.
It'd be pretty, but I don't think you would
But
see
you're
it.
not going to see anything. So I'm thinking if we get in, I thought you said all the planes came in at night.
No, I found some that got in earlier.
Okay,
You
so
just have to leave earlier.
okay, so if we get in during the day, then you're
Like
talking
1 or
about
2
seeing
o'clock.
it that day.
If we get in at 1 or 2 o'clock, it takes 2 hours to get from the airport to our hotel.
Yeah, which is
And then,
2 hours.
And then go, so you figure that's going to be 4 o'clock or 4 or 5 o'clock.
And they probably
so-
close at 6.
No, they're open at night.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I've looked this up. I do not want to take the tube from the airport to our hotel.
No.
Because I don't want to do it with luggage and stuff. I'd rather spend the money.
Yeah.
My question is, are you better off just taking a taxi and going through there, or getting a private transport? Because I've heard you can buy a private car, but I think that would be more expensive, wouldn't you?
Yeah, let us know which is the cheapest way to go, because
And I don't want to
or
take a
if you
bus.
want to pick us up and take us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah, because it's supposed to take 2 hours. So
2 hours or more, depending on what time you get there in traffic.
right, and traffic and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Because
But I'm curious though. I mean, I don't mind taking a taxi and paying for it, because me and Tami both talked about it.
Yeah.
We'd much rather just spend the
the
money.
pay than go on the tube, and people get mad. We've heard about people that live there are getting off work and they don't
And here
want,
you got luggage.
you got
around.
your luggage, and I don't want to do that. I don't want
I
to.
just don't want full of it.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. So we know we're going to be paying more than the tube. That's okay. But private car or taxi,
Yeah.
which one would be
I would
best?
think it's going to be cheaper with a taxi, but
And what's the name of the hotel we're staying at? Because I don't mind saying that. Do you? I don't mind telling
I
them.
don't know right this second.
You don't know the name of the
have it.
hotel?
I've got it written down.
We'll let you know the name of the hotel.
It's Premier. It's the Premier one in Waterloo.
It's
there's-
right next to the London
There's
Eye.
2 of them though. There's one that's up front that doesn't have any air conditioning, and I don't
We
want that
don't-
one.
we don't
There's
want that
one
one.
that's back further. It was near
The
it was-
aquarium. It was closer to the aquarium.
It's like right behind. Like you got the London Eye, you got the one Premier Inn up here, and then this one's like literally right behind it.
Right.
And it used to be in an old maternity hospital or something.
Yeah, which sounds really cool.
I think it's Premier Waterloo, but I can't swear to it. It's one of those areas. It's one in that area. The reviews have been excellent for it. They say make sure you ask for a premier room or prime room or whatever. That way you're a little higher up and you're not looking at a wall. You can actually see above the buildings and see the London Eye and stuff. And I'm going to try to book early enough to where I'm hoping I can ask for that. I'm going to actually contact them on the website or something. And I don't want to call because I don't know what that'd be like. But I'll contact them through the website and ask for a room with a view of the London Eye if possible. And like I said, we're going to book, at least 4 months in advance. So I would think we'd be able to get something.
Right. Right.
So anyway, that's
So
what we're thinking about.
this is where we're at right now, and lots and lots of questions. I'm sure I've bombarded you all with questions.
Yeah.
People that have been there.
But we're on day 5 days, and we really can't go much more than 6 days and be able to fit the other thing in there either. So So we're kind of right there.
We've never been on a train before, and we
Not a
both
real train.
not a real train. We've been on one at Disney World, okay?
Yeah, and the antique train.
Oh, the Bluegrass Railway.
Yeah.
That doesn't count in my opinion. But we've never been on a real train, and so we're thinking that we'll do the tour to Scotland, and so we definitely want to do that. And it just sounds really, it's just getting me excited just to think about. Because for a long time I've just been thinking about London itself. So to be able to go to Scotland too, that's just really cool.
And we're going to talk about going to the Highlands too, up north, where you get on the ocean with the lighthouse and the shore, and so that'll be cool.
Yeah, and Hamish Macbeth lives in the Highlands. That's one of Agatha Christie's.
You never know. You might be on the trip. You never know his village.
That would be cool. So anyway. If you all don't mind, if you've been there, and I know people that live in the United States, like Allison, I know you and your family, if you're watching this, you and your family just got back from a trip. Any thing that you can answer, please do. We really, really, really appreciate it. Okay, you don't have to tell me about Selfridges. Not interested in it anymore.
Very odd clothes.
It looks more expensive than Harrods. That's just how it looks on Kevin pulled up the Google page, and they want like crazy prices for things.
Yeah, look at that. That's awful.
Yeah.
They're £100 for that.
Yeah, the prices are just, to me, crazy prices. I would never pay these prices for things. So, yeah, I've never had a $100 sweater in my life. So how much would that be pounds?
It's like 150 basically.
Pounds.
Yeah.
I've never.
No, $150. It's 100 pounds, so it's $150.
Right, I've never had that. Yeah, and I'm not going to. That's ridiculous unless I win the lottery. So anyway, Selfridges is getting marked off the list.
And if we happen to pass by it and we look in and say, hey, why don't we run in and walk through, we may do that. But
we did write down another museum. It's called Pollock's Toy Museum, and it sounds really, really cool. So we'll probably be checking that out when we go to the British Museum. It's in the same area. The only other thing we're curious about now is Hampton Court, because it is in West London.
Yeah, and there's no quick, but I'm going to look online where it's not on my iPad. I can actually look on a computer. I'm almost positive one of those hop on, hop off tours
goes there?
Had a way to get there, but you had to pay extra for it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Is it so far away?
because it's farther away. And but that may be seriously, you might spend a whole day just to travel there and have.
We'll
so it may
have
not
to
be worth
see.
it.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we think it's worth it or not.
And Windsor Castle, there was another. I think it was. You could do Hampton for an extra one, or you could do Windsor Castle for an extra fee.
Right.
Because you have to get on a train to go to Windsor.
Right. So we just, we only have a certain amount of time. So I wish we could spend a month there, But, well, in reality, I wish I could just be there all the time. And
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see the Scotland tour. It leaves on certain days. So like a Monday or something, I don't remember what day, but let's say it leaves on a Monday. Well, then I need to make sure, okay, if we're going to stay there for this day to this day, then I need to look back and see when we need to get tickets for, because I know basically what time I can leave from work. When the earliest I can leave for work is, I know when that day is. So then it's just a matter of planning out days from there. We may end up having more days in London. We may have a day less in London. I just don't know yet.
Right.
So we'll have to, that's what we're up to now, is kind of seeing on the calendar when things fit.
right.
So.
And not only just this stuff, but then we also have to find some good places to eat in these areas.
I'm thinking we just run by a place and
on
just
all
go.
these days. Well, I want to make sure though, I know you say that, and I agree with you to an extent, but I don't want to get there and be like, okay, well, there's a McDonald's. We'll just settle for that because we don't know anything else. We need to find out what's in the area.
Well, I'm hoping we have AT&T over here for our cell service. I'm hoping I can get some kind of plan, or I can figure out Wi-Fi spots over there in London, because I know people have said before on some of the websites I've seen that you can find Wi-Fi hotspots around where you can just hook up your phone and download stuff. There's some apps on the App Store that give you like maps and stuff and points of interest. Of course, those people probably pay to put their names on there, but maybe not. But you can download them offline to where you don't even have to connect to data to get those. I might look into stuff like that. If they don't cost that much, why not go ahead and spend $1 or $2?
But while we're there, we want to experience the food completely. We
might go into a pub, although we don't drink, but we might go for the food.
Right? Yeah. When Americans hear the word pub, it's totally different than how they think of it. Here we think of it as a bar and only a bar.
It's got food.
But they have food and it's like a family. I think it's more of a family place over there. I really
Although people get pretty drunk in pubs too.
So anyway, yes, we will definitely be going in some pubs. So we just have to look those up, and those find the ones that are in these areas, some good places to eat and be and all that. So a lot more planning yet to do. But anyway, I figured I would check back in with you and let you know that we did find that Pollock's Toy Museum because that was cool.
Maybe we can get tea at British Museum. They have a tea room at the British Museum.
Oh, really?
That'd be cool.
I'm going to have to make sure that I take some decent clothes.
I'm gonna wear dress shirts probably the whole time.
Yeah, decent clothes because you just never know.
Dress shirts and jeans. I'm not wearing dress pants, but I'll wear jeans and a dress shirt.
If you're going to be having tea, then you're going to need dress pants.
I don't know how fancy
You'll be taking dress pants.
I don't know how fancy they are. I'm not going to walk around the British Museum and all these museums in dress pants.
Okay, y'all can let me know that too.
We can probably look that up online.
People are wearing blue jeans. So anyway, we will talk to you later.